Hi everyone, tonight I have Leslie Hunter with me. We're in the Gold Coast. Come on Leslie, and we've...
Hi everybody!
You know what, we made a photo mistake. I think we might have to move up here because you're going to cut out of the picture.
Yeah.
Right, because we've got no idea. We're flying high tonight without the producer. So we've got no idea whether we're in the picture. I think you might have to move up a little.
No, I think I'm there.
Yeah, right.
I think I'm there.
Well, anyway, another thing is we didn't realise I'm in Queensland doing the show tonight, so I had no idea. Well, I did. I should have. But it's about the time frame, you know.
And it's hot up here too.
Yeah, it's hot. Like, we're really hot. We've got fans turned off so we don't get the noise because I forgot to pack the microphone as well. But anyway, we're here. We're going to do the show anyway, and hopefully it'll all work out. Like I said, this is Leslie Hunter.
Hi there everybody.
And I've known Leslie for a long time.
40 years.
40 years.
But we don't tell anybody that.
So, one thing is that I really wanted to talk about a situation that Leslie has recently been in, but it does affect a lot of other people that I have known or know of. And that is when your parents reach that age that, you know, they might need a little bit of help, and you don't particularly want to put them in a facility to be looked after. So you choose to do it yourself at home. And I do know that a lot of people, 48 years ago, or
no, it's more now.
Or 50 years ago.
Yeah,
and
she's 52 now.
She finally met her daughter after 48 years of searching. So we'll get onto that because one ties into the other. So stay tuned and listen to what we've got to say. So because the times are all mixed up right now, we'll probably finish at about, well, it'll be here, you know, 8 o'clock. It'll be there 9 o'clock for you guys. So anyway, sorry about all the confusion.
Oh,
anyway,
well, we forgot, you know, the Gold Coast is the tourist capital of the world, of Australia anyway, and we don't have daylight saving. It's insane.
Yeah, so it's really mucked me up. Anyway, so...
Sorry about that.
We'll get onto the show. So, Leslie, your mum, lovingly known as Moona, or Moo.
Yeah.
She was a very sprightly woman, I remember.
Years ago, 68, 69, something like that. And then 68, 78, 88, yeah. She had a heart attack at 80, which she survived, and then a stroke at 85, which left her a very unusual stroke. Normally it's one side or the other, but in her case it hit her from the waist down, and so she couldn't walk. It hit her in the back of the spine. Oh, yeah. But, and you know, I mean, she didn't have bowel control and all that, but she used to worry about that. But the thing is, there are a lot worse strokes out there. You know, like, if she couldn't talk, that would be horrific. If she had to write things. Had the heart attack, which she had in the pub, after she'd just taken one mouthful of beer, and we were sitting at a poker machine. We were going to go in and have lunch, and all of a sudden I looked at her and she was really pale, and I said, "You okay?" And she said, "Yeah, we'll be in a minute." And in a minute she said, "No, I don't think I am." So it was Todd's pub, and so the staff got her out, and I called the guys were there in 10 minutes at home, and she'd had a massive heart attack.
Yeah.
I knew the ad. Well, he just couldn't stop laughing. It was just so funny. So even with the heart attack and then the stroke, she didn't think she could come home because she had no bowel movement. Had no bowel control. And
I'm so sorry, everyone.
Excuse me for using the S word, guys, but she looked at me and she said she'd have to go into a home because she didn't have any bowel control. And I said, "Oh, for goodness sake, it's a bit of shit." And my girlfriend Erica said, "Auntie Muriel, it's digested food. What's wrong with you?" course you do, yeah.
So, okay, so then we've gone from there. Now you've set her up at home. So that means for you, was there someone else that you could share her like daily
No,
things with?
No.
It was only you. There
it
were
was
no.
just me. No,
There's no brothers and sisters and cousins and aunties and all that sort of stuff.
no.
So you were responsible for her welfare basically 24/7.
Yes.
So how did you cope with that? Like, I know you love your mum and you can do that when you love your mum, but you've still got to be able to cope with, like, what if
For 23
Yeah.
years. Yeah.
Okay, so 10 years she was sick and in need of your constant help.
Mm.
And, like, how did you feel about that?
Well, you see, I grew up in a very strange household in the sense that my father was a drunk, and he was a bad drunk. He was very violent when he was drunk. And so I knew when I was a little girl, wherever my mother was, I was safe. So, and I don't mean
Having that time with your mum, you'd probably do a lot of talking about, you know, life itself
Oh, yeah.
and, you know, little memories that you have. So what was one of the most beautiful things that she told you? Like a little memory?
I don't know about memories like that. I think the one thing she taught me was to never lie.
Mm.
And if you're in the wrong, stick your hand up and say, yes, I did it, I'm sorry, I was out of order.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that sticks. Area just 80's heart away, and there was nothing they could do. Christian Barnard hadn't done the first heart transplant, so he was 45 when his heart gave out.
So did your mum say that he was like a, you know, like did you talk about the fact that before he went away, did you ever talk about...
No, she didn't know until he came back. But I think my father was, believe it or not, I think my father was a spoilt brat as a child. And I think it carried through into his life. His life was about him. Oh, my name's Mary and I'm pregnant to Jimmy. That was my dad.
Wow.
And my grandmother said, and how far pregnant are you, dear? And the girl said, 3 months. And my grandmother said, well, ring me back in 6. And come back with the phone.
No.
Oh, it was a weird household to grow up in, darling.
Oh dear. I know, I'm just thinking about things like that. So there's one part where we've talked
I could have an abortion. My father's doctor would do it. Or I could adopt the child out. And I just figured 2 wrongs didn't make a right, so an abortion wasn't the right way to go. At 16 you can be very idealistic and the world's, you know, as you think it is. And so I had the baby. And...
So where did you go to have the baby? Like to a...
St Margaret's Hospital. I stayed home until while I was pregnant. I went to St Margaret's at Darlinghurst in Sydney, which was...
Because you're thinking they released papers?
Oh, he's just turned them like this, and I can remember it as clearly as sitting here. I didn't read anything, I just signed it.
So were you thinking that you were going to be with your baby, or what were you thinking?
No, I knew she was going to be adopted out, but I thought we would be coming back to do that because I knew that I had to have a parent with me.
Yes.
So, you know, but I didn't know I was signing.
You know, they wanted to meet her, or did you know you had a girl?
Yeah, I knew I had a girl.
So you knew you got to see her, or
No.
they told you?
They started to wheel her into my room with a new nurse one day, and she said, oh, you're feeding the baby, aren't you, dear? And I just looked at her. She must have seen the look on my face, and I've gone to grab the baby, and she said, I'm so sorry. And she's raced out. Yeah, so
This time,
no.
were you able to get like a lot of information?
No, the only thing the government would give you in those days, up until 7 years, 8 years ago, something like that, the government coffers were closed. You couldn't get the information. They would send you what they called non-identifying information, which was her first name, what her father, how old her father was, adopted father and adopted mother, and that she had 2 adopted brothers. That's all the information. Country town, New South Wales. That's all I got.
Okay. So then time.
A drink with her father. We would have filled up at his garage
Wow.
and didn't realise.
So the information led you to a small town.
Small town, Prima, in New South Wales.
Which was a town that you were familiar with.
Absolutely,
So
made ours own a house. Out of every country town, New South Wales, that was on the non-identifying stuff was Prima. And when I saw that after, I mean, how many country towns are there in New South Wales?
Like that, such a small town, everyone knows everybody.
Yes.
You ring the publican then gets a message out through the town,
Yeah.
and then next minute she's on the phone and she
It
talks
wouldn't
to
be 15 minutes. It was unbelievable. And the coup de grace was she was at my mother's 90th birthday.
Oh, see, how awesome is that?
So, I mean, it was just awesome.
'Cause
My
that's
mum
the one-
died 2 months later.
So your mum passed.
Unlike her mother, she's only been married the once, my daughter.
That's pretty sad, isn't it?
It's very sad.
But I mean, there is some good stuff there too, because like I said, you now have this beautiful new family, you've got grandchildren,
Absolutely.
you know you had, and you found your daughter.
Absolutely.
And your daughter found her mother.
Yes.
And, you know, no disrespect to her foster mother, because
No, not a foster mother, her adopted mother.
her
There's a
adopted
big
mother,
difference.
let me get that right, sorry. Her adopted mother, because, you know, in fact, they are their mums through their lives.
Absolutely.
And that's who they know, and it's like, you don't want to take anything away from that beautiful. Tonight, like 2 different subjects. Well, one is the fact that you found your daughter, and 2, that you did in fact live with your mum and look after her for many, many, many years. So,
I have to say though, the doctors, my doctor, friends kept saying to me, Leslie, you've still got to have a life. And I couldn't have a life. She didn't really want strangers coming in to look after her, and I didn't, you know, and so it just became.
in some way, but you know, it's amazing how we end up still being so positive at the end. And if you can share something that could make a difference to someone's life, a few, you know, wonderful words of encouragement.
Oh, darling, I don't know how beautiful my words are, but the one thing I would always say to people is that you've got 2 choices. You get up, put a smile on your dial, or you top yourself. You know, it's not worth. Not have had to look all those years if the coffers hadn't have opened earlier than 7 or 8 years ago. You know, I mean, and when I rang St Margaret's Hospital, the nuns told me that, oh, I'm sorry about that, but the paperwork was destroyed in a fire.
Which is what they used to
So,
say.
you know, now it's a different kettle of fish. You can get all the information now.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Next month, and we'll have a rip-roaring weekend.
So, it's all good and it's all happy. And for those of you out there making decisions about this sort of thing, you know, there are organisations that are also out there to help you, and, you know, to seek some sort of advice with an organisation, and go and talk to someone, or you know, get in touch with Lifeline if it's really getting. Okay, well, they're wise words from Leslie. So I'll say good night to you, and I'm actually going to jump up in the middle of this and turn it off. So it's not going to be our usual kind of like ending when we've got lovely Tiana on the other side of the camera. So, you know, it does need a team to make a dream work. So Tiana, I can't wait until we're back together next week and doing this. So everyone, well, everyone, and thank you for listening.
Good night, everybody.
Here I go,
I
getting
didn't
up
annoy you too much.
so ungracefully to turn this thing off. Thank you, everyone. Bye for